flooding rainfall across our area and even some gusty winds heading into the night tonight and into tomorrow. Starting to see those impacts lessen, but we still have a weather impact alert throughout tonight and into tomorrow morning. It's going to be all day today with torrential rain and that flooding risk continuing. You're going to want to be alert and watch for those flooded roads. That means when you're driving, just making sure you're looking for the ponding alongside the roads. Remember, it doesn't take much to hydroplane. There's going to be a lot of rainfall. Things you need to know right now: heavy rain is coming down in bands from that storm off and on throughout this afternoon. Rare high flood risk is in effect and will continue to be in effect through this evening. Winds may pick up through mid-morning between around 25 to 35 miles per hour. This is the latest look at Tropical Storm Debby. It's moving northwest at around 10 miles per hour, starting to gain a little bit of speed, but it is weakening as a system as a whole. Winds, though, still sustained at around 40 miles per hour, so it is keeping tropical storm strength as of right now. Its eye is located around 80 miles southeast of Charlotte, and it will continue to push toward the northwest in the next few hours. This is a look at the advisory from 11 o'clock, pushing north through the triad, bringing us even more rainfall than we already have seen out of our hair by Friday afternoon and into the evening, as models are showing us. Still could see some clouds, as this is a very big system pushing through the area, but for the most part, we're going to be seeing much better relief from these conditions, especially into the day for tomorrow. High point as of right now, lots of heavy clouds and just scattered rainfall continuing across our area. A time lapse from our Buffalo Creek here. You can see by I-40, it's continuing to flood. This is just in the last 5 hours or so, rising up to major concerns for levels of flooding, and we'll continue to keep you updated on that as well. Just a lot of rivers and creeks are going to be significantly impacted from this system. Rainfall today across the triad has ranged anywhere from 1 inch up to 3.5, even 4 inches right now in Burlington. This is as of 1 o'clock here on Thursday, and I'm expecting even more rainfall. This is about the amount of rainfall we normally see for an entire month in the triad. So make sure if you have to be outside and be out and about in the car, you are being careful, not only with the winds, but also with the flooding that is ongoing on flooding warnings, flood watches that we will continue to be watching throughout the day tonight and into early tomorrow. High wind gusts across the region today. We're also keeping an eye on. Look at that, 52 miles an hour was the highest we clocked at the PTI airport. As for Winston-Salem, 46, 35 in Burlington. It's just very windy out there at times due to this tropical system making its way into the area. We will start to see relief from that into tonight and especially throughout the day tomorrow. Notice by around 2 o'clock, we still could see some gusts up to around 15 to 20 miles per hour by the afternoon. But for the most part, things are starting to calm down, especially by the time we're into the weekend and the system has pushed way up north and away from our area. Temperatures as of right now are in the lower and middle 70s with that cooling rain. Don't expect much warmer than that. Middle upper 70s at best. 71 right now in Greensboro and in Reedsville, 73 in Winston-Salem and in High Point. So remember, today is a weather impact alert day, so you must take it seriously with these downpours and flooding. Make sure you don't go through flood prone areas as well. Next couple of hours, maybe in the middle 70s, but rain and showers, heavy bands and gusty winds are going to continue into this afternoon and into this evening. Now into tomorrow, what you can expect more so for the front half of the day as the system is trying to push toward the northwest and toward the northeast, and get out of our hair. By the time we're into the early afternoon, we're going to begin to clear out, which is fantastic for upcoming weekend plans, although still could be seeing a lot of significant impacts from that from flooding in creeks and in rivers and even along some of our highways. But we're going to start to clear out heading into tomorrow afternoon and into the evening. Here's some of the things that you should know. This tropical rain is going to last throughout the day today and into tomorrow morning. Heavy rain may total between 3 to 6 inches. As you saw on the map earlier, I had between 3 to 5 inches in some places, only 1 to 3 more so for the foothills area that have just started seeing rain in the past couple of hours from this large system. Flooding is going to happen, so make sure you take that and keep that in mind while you're planning out your days, not only today but also for tomorrow, as areas still could be flooded. Make sure to charge devices in case of more power outages across the area. So far, we've seen over 150,000 power outages in North Carolina alone, just for, as of right now at 1 o'clock on a Thursday. Satellite right now, this is what you can see. Tropical Storm Debby continuing to bring lots and lots of heavy rain bands across the Triad and even in central North Carolina. You can see this flash flood warning is going to last until around 4 o'clock. That includes Alamance, Davidson, Guilford, and Randolph counties. Threat is going to be considerable. These outer rain bands are going to continue to push through the area in rounds. So at some times you may not be seeing a lot of rain, and other times it could be very, very heavy. And even if it's not raining, it still could be pretty gusty, up to 35 to 40 miles per hour. It's just a day to spend indoors. If you have that luxury to be able to work from home, make sure you are taking advantage of it for the day today. And here's another look here from our radar. You can see more heavy bands making their way into Guilford County, into Forsyth here just in the last hour or so. And we'll be keeping eyes on what to expect here for the next several hours as well. As for storm reports, there have been a lot in the last 6 hours, most of them having to do with wind damage and flooding concerns. One actually in Alamance County, as you can see, if I could step out of the way, several reports of flash flooding in Alamance County, including multiple roads are closed across the area. Let's look at another one right here in Yadkinville. Numerous trees down from Yadkin County, just from some of those gusty winds able to push down the trees, which could cause even more concern along the roadways. So that's another reason that you should stay home if you are able to. As for Surrey County, intersection of Smith Lane and Welcome Baptist Church Road in Mount Airy, both lanes of traffic were blocked from more trees falling as a result of this system. Just take a look at the amount of storm reports across North Carolina just in the last 6 hours. You even see a couple of tornadoes toward eastern North Carolina. Not as much of a threat for us in the Triad, but still could happen. So we'll be keeping a close eye on any spin-up opportunities as well. Flash flood warning all in effect across the Triad. Flash flood watch to our north, and even a tornado watch you see up here in yellow to our north and to our east. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on the radar the next several hours. Flash flood risk is very high for the day today. And we never see that across the Triad. And what that means is you need to be prepared. Remember, be careful on the roadways. Don't go out if you don't have to. Flooding is happening, and it will continue to happen into the night tonight. Flood risk drops significantly for the day on Friday as we start to see that system Debby push toward the north and away from North Carolina. One good thing is the tornado risk is staying for the most part to our east, a very low percentage, including Alamance County. But toward the east, this is where we're really more concerned for that spin up, because it's in that northeast quadrant of Tropical Storm Debby. That's not to say a spin up or two couldn't happen here. However, it's more toward the east, and our main threat here will continue to be rain and, of course, gusty winds at times. Here's a look at Tropical Storm Debby from space. This is here from our satellite. You can kind of see it more toward the daylight hours with the clouds. More and more clouds have been making their way into the area. So while this system is pushing toward the north and also toward the east, we're going to be seeing more clouds also into the day on Friday. So while the system may be gone, clouds will linger for quite a little bit of time. Tropical Storm Debby right now, winds are sustained at around 40 miles per hour. Again, the center is around 80 miles southeast of Charlotte, North Carolina, moving northwest around 10 miles per hour. This is the latest track of Debby. It is going to push toward our north. Most models actually have it out of our hair by the time we are into Friday morning and into the early afternoon. Although, as I said before in the last slide, still could see a little bit more cloud coverage across the area from this system. Again, winds sustained at around 40 miles per hour for right now. Futurecast, that system is going to continue to push toward our northwest before we start to see an incoming front that could possibly bring in more rain chances later on. We're tracking Debby for right now, and this is in the next couple of hours. Most models have it out of our hair by Friday morning, maybe